Yeah. Okay, I give up.
You know why? Because we give up. We live in Give Up America.
Right, so last week we got this Galaxy Note 20, the base model, and this was actually a gift from my mother. And as for myself, I kind of assumed that I was still doing just fine with my Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And so that's what I kind of went with. Totally ignoring Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, figuring I'll just use the Note 10 Plus for another year. But I gave up. Just went ahead and ordered an Ultra. So the only, I guess, mistake I made is I waited. I didn't pre-order, and I got it about a week later than most of my friends. They got them, but it doesn't matter. Better late than never. So let's take a look and see what we think. Now, I do an unboxing. I'm not even sure what the point is. This is the most basic unboxing there is. There's nothing in this box, really, but the charger and the phone. We already saw it. It's the same thing with the Note 20. I just want to make this video mostly to talk about some controversial things that people are saying about these phones, rather than just unboxing and looking at them. It's not a review. It's more of an overview and maybe a couple of my thoughts on devices and how they compare to some of the other ones available from Samsung at this time. The phone is in good shape. Always kind of something in the back of your mind when you have it shipped to you. So I went ahead and got the Mystic White. I actually wanted a white Note 10 Plus a year ago, but the shipping times at that time were about 2 weeks later than the black one, so I ended up just picking up a black one. I didn't want to wait. This time, the shipping times were about the same, and white is what I wanted. So far, just by looking at it, that looks damn good. Oh my god. The camera module, it's shiny silver. It's almost like a mirror. So, not quite as reflective as the Note 20, but looks nice so far. It is a big bump. It actually doesn't feel so bad in person. When you see them on videos, it feels huge, like really huge. When you see it in person, it's not that bad. I mean, it's just a little bit longer than, say, a camera bump on the iPhone 11 Pro Max or whatever. Maybe a little bit thicker. But the case will fix that problem, so. Right. So this phone is going to be for myself. I'll go ahead and power it on. It has some charge. Next, for the rest of the box, right here, something's kind of cool. It's white inside, so it's a little bit different. There's AT&T SIM card. I don't need that. Just a little cardboard piece. The charger is also white. That's cool. I have a black one just like it. Now I'm gonna have a white one. And a white USB-C cable. I don't have to even take it out. And yeah, for the bottom part of the box, this is it. Booyah. Up here, now this part is black. There'll be no surprises. There's your SIM eject tool and just some paperwork up in the packet here. AT&T specific. So I got an AT&T model to take full advantage of all the network related features I got with my plan. Okay. Well, one of the things that some of the reviews kind of mentioned was the screen, not brightness, but maybe vividness, if that's the if that's the right term. Some people say it's not as vivid as the Note 20. You know, you probably saw those reviews. So we'll compare. I have a couple of theories about that. We're gonna need to set this up real quick and see. Okay, so there, I finished the initial setup. The phone is still going to be downloading all kinds of updates and apps and stuff. But in the meantime, we can take a look at the screen. So what I did, I actually turned the brightness all the way up, and I'm not even sure if I actually want to compare these three phones, because right now, just looking at this screen by itself, it looks absolutely beautiful. And this is one thing that was always a little bit confusing to me when I see some people comment that, you know, the screen doesn't look quite as good as, say, that screen, and it's like, you know, a deal breaker, or maybe it's not as vivid. Look, you'll never actually tell the difference unless you hold these phones side by side. So we're gonna go and do it anyway. So just so we can see the brightness here, that's a Galaxy Note 10 Plus, is all the way up. The brightness here is all the way up, and on this Galaxy Note 20, the brightness is also all the way up, just to make it fair. And now let's get to the same area, so we can see the settings are actually the same as well. There it is. Okay, so having this phone laying on the table like this, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra screen appears a little bit dull. You can probably actually see it on the video. That might be a viewing angle. So when I pick it up, yeah, it's nice and bright. First, I'm gonna compare it to Note 10 Plus. So let's see. As you can see, settings are the same. Do you see any difference? Yeah, this one appears to have just a slightly more pleasant image to me, the Note 10 Plus. And like I said, I have a theory about that. I'll share it in a second. And now the base Note 20. Pretty much the same result. In fact, out of these three devices, the Note 20 probably looks the best. And so, you know, this is the thing that I mentioned. I kind of didn't want to put them side by side, because when I first looked at the screen, it looked absolutely beautiful. But now, of course, putting them side by side with the different models, it's a little bit different test that some of the other people did. But I don't know if you can tell, the white here just looks brighter and whiter. This one looks a little bit kind of grayish and dull. The sharpness appears to be about the same. So I'm gonna have to decide if that's a deal breaker or not. So far, I don't think it will be, but as far as just the colors and contrast and just the quality of the image that I see, especially with the white and the gray here, the Note 10 Plus looks better than Note 20 Ultra. And the Note 20, the base one, the one with the plastic back that everyone hates, actually looks even better than that. Looks the best. This is the clearest, the brightest image. This is kind of weird. Again, the brightness is all the way up here. Well, here are my theories of why I think that may be. There are two things that I think might be affecting this. Since I saw a similar effect with the Galaxy S20 Ultra, I think it may have something to do with the higher refresh screen. So maybe the technology used for the screen, it just doesn't appear to be as, you know, have as good of a contrast and the, you know, natural white balance that other phones that don't have that 120 Hertz refresh rate capability. That's one theory. Another one I have that maybe in this particular case, it has something to do with the new Gorilla Glass 7 Victus. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, of course, this phone doesn't have it, the Note 20, nor the does the Note 10 Plus, but also the camera glass on the Note 20 Ultra is Gorilla Glass 6. I thought it was kind of weird. Why didn't they use the tougher, newer Gorilla Glass 7? Well, maybe it affects the clarity of the image somehow, and while it's acceptable on the screen, it's possible they decided it's not acceptable on the camera. So I don't know. I kind of think it's probably because of the refresh rate technology in it. Somehow the image outputs is just not quite as pleasant. Again, if you look at it all on its own and don't compare it, side by side with other phones, you're gonna forget all about it. I already sort of did. I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker. What might be a deal breaker is the performance, thermal performance and the battery performance. Obviously, I can't test the battery right now. I don't have time for that. I'm not a reviewer. I just doing a quick overview, and then I'm just going to use this phone. It's just going to be my daily driver. What I am feeling already after just a few minutes of using it since I turned it on, it's already pretty warm. It's getting there. It's getting warm. I can't tell yet though if it's any different from these other phones, because since we just turned it on, it's setting up all kinds of stuff. It's downloading apps. It's still setting things up. So that might be the reason why it's warmer. Of course, it turned on and instantly started using it while it's downloading all those apps, and I turned the brightness all the way up right away. So that might be why. I hear from some of the friends that had this phone for a few days that it does run just a little bit warmer. So is there going to be a problem or not? It's too early to tell, but the screen already starting to feel kind of warm. And I'm not a big fan of that. So to be honest, here's the Note 10 Plus, and it's also getting warmer. And it's not really doing anything. It's just sitting here, turned on at full brightness. So, it's actually not that much different. So is the Note 20, the regular one. They're not as warm as the Note 20 Plus, but they're also not setting up as a new phone, not downloading all those apps from the Google Play Store and the updates. So we'll see how that plays out. Here's another interesting thing. Before we go there, and I may just spoil my whole enjoyment of this new phone, there are reports all over the Samsung forums. Well, maybe all over is the exaggeration. There are a few reports. And also I hear in the Korean Samsung forums that the camera modules inside the cutouts are not perfectly aligned. And they kind of show the side of the housing, and it's bothering some people. So let's see. Straight up, let's just look right at it if we can. Okay. Let me take a closer look with the naked eye. So I am happy to report that mine actually are absolutely flawless. I don't see any misalignment. It's hard to tell, and I know it's really hard to tell. I can tell by looking at my viewfinder screen here that it's pretty much impossible to tell. But some people see it like a side of the internal housing on one of the cameras, and it's just kind of showing through the cutout, and it's bothering the heck out of them. And I can understand that. I have tons of OCDs about all sorts of different things. That is something that would bother me too. Something else that people on the forums have discovered, and there were questions about it, is, I don't know if you can see, but there's a tiny little hole on the side of the camera housing there. So again, I know it's hard to tell. Okay, so that tiny little black line there, that's actually a little hole. I hear people saying that it may be your microphone, and I think it's very possible the microphone might be hidden in there. Or somebody else say that it may be kind of a opening to release or like normalize, temperature or pressure or humidity between the inside of the phone, and the outside environment. So that might be a possibility too, especially since somebody mentioned that when people cover it with the case, that some people notice some condensation inside of the lenses. So maybe that's what it is. tiny little hole there on the side. It's definitely there on purpose. Everyone has it. Cool. One other issue that people brought up is they said there was some dust inside the camera housing. Camera module. I don't see any on mine. So maybe I just got lucky. But I think if there are any problems like that, it's not any kind of indication of widespread issue with the model or generation. I think it's just, you know, with anything, there may be individual units that are not perfect. And if there are any actual problems with that, there's warranty. Or of course, you know, if it's just something cosmetic that people don't like, they can always return and replace it. Although I understand it's not too easy. It's not as easy as it sounds, especially if you took advantage of some promotions and got some better deals. So if I think of anything else, I'll update. Next, we kind of already mentioned that with the Note20 unboxing that I did last week. The S Pen has moved from the right side to the left side. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's it moved. There's nothing else to say. It still works just fine. Of course, it works like crap on this plastic. You know, forget it. Forget the plastic. It's not a screen protector. So if anyone thinks it's a screen protector, it's not. Just peel it off. It's a piece of garbage. See, that's what I meant. The phone's still trying to do stuff. Like, it just keeps setting things up without even asking me if I want it or not. I don't want the Samsung Daily. Sorry, Samsung. I love you, but I don't want this garbage. I'll just use my Google Feed. Little bonus. I got this case too for a new phone. That's the same case I've been using with my Note 10 Plus, and I like these cases. LED cover case. So I got the one for Galaxy Note 20 Ultra too. Don't need a knife here. I might as well unbox it and take a quick look as well. Let's see, there's a little tab. So this one, they say is white. For the Note 10 Plus, they call it silver. And it's, I don't know why it was so much, you know, what's different between these two colors. Okay, the silver is just slightly darker. I mean, I don't know if it's possible to tell in the video. I would say they're about the same. Nice finish. I actually think this has a better finish. This is kind of smooth. This is a little bit more scratchy, so probably a little bit grippier. What I don't like is how they move the buttons. See, here we have nice straight side, and here, you know, there's some buttons hidden inside. So with the new phone, of course, they moved the buttons to another side. And personally, I like them on the left side. But it's okay. I don't dispute that most people actually thought that was annoying, and they like them on the right side. So it's okay that Samsung moved them. You know, I'll get used to it just fine. Cosmetically, though, it just kind of interrupts this you know, smooth look when you have actual rubber buttons right here on the side, versus that before it would just be straight, you know, smooth case line there. But I like these cases. I think they're a lot of fun. I had them since, I think, Galaxy S7 Edge, and I still love the LED effect on the front of the case. I think it's very cool. There it is. Thing, yeah. So it doesn't appear as bright as the previous generation, but it's good enough. Cool. Let's try to make a conclusion. I can't think of anything on top of my head right now, any other things that I would want to test or anything that I want to look at. I'm just going to have to use the phone and see, see how it goes, see how I like it. If there are any battery problems, if there are any heat management problems, anything like that, I may, just mention it in future video. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and transfer a bunch of information, set it up, go ahead and use it. I love the look. I love the design of it. I don't mind the huge camera bump so much, especially now with this case. I pretty much made it flush with the case. So that's a cool effect. It's not recessed inside, nor it's sticking out. You put your phone down, it doesn't bounce on the table. Very, very slightly. So the case made it better. I do love the original Samsung accessories. That's what I always get. Yeah, it actually feels nice in the hand. Feels good. Feels slightly larger than the Note 10 Plus, which I love so much, but it's going to be trade-in if I decide to keep this. I'm not 100% convinced yet. There's a lot of kind of questionable things with this device. And the only way to find out, I realized, is to try it for myself and see how it goes. Originally, I was going to just ignore it and just stick with the Note 10 Plus. But I do want a high refresh rate screen, and I do want a newer camera and a faster processor. That's pretty much the main reasons why I want to upgrade. So far, what I can say is kind of a downgrade from the Note 10 Plus is, of course, lower storage capacity. As we saw earlier, comparison between the two screens, the screen is just not quite as vivid and vibrant. Some people might say it's a plus. I know a lot of people prefer more natural looking screen, but I think it should be it should look very close to the Note 20, and it's a little bit disappointing that it's not. Kind of a have to give props to the Note 20. It receives so much hate, but there's some really serious benefits of this device. Besides the price, it's actually much lighter. The cameras are still amazing. We see the screen quality is actually, well, maybe not the overall screen quality, but the brightness and the white balance and the vividness of the screen is definitely better than on the Note 20 Ultra. And I'm not the first one to mention it, it's something that people are noticing now. Cool. I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. And if anything else comes up, I'll update. Or if I decide to send it back, I'll definitely update on that as well.